So this morning I would like to discuss the times, and a half of times that keep popping up in the Bible. Alright? And you notice that a lot of people, preachers, have used it to claim it's 3.5 years. They would say a time is 1 year, times is 2 years, and a half a time is a half a year. Well, I'm going to show you today that that is incorrect, and I think I'm going to show you where the mistake was. Alright, so this particular one, when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth a man-child. The dragon persecuted the Jews because they were the one who brought forth the man-child. You see, the ecclesia came after the man-child was born, not before he was born. Israel brought forth the man-child, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle. And I have over and over explained to you this persecution of the Jews took place over the course of nearly 2,000 years. Then that time comes when the woman is given to literally, not figuratively, literally 2 wings of a great eagle. You can find out how this operation of flight takes place in Isaiah 60 verse 8, 7, 8, and 9, but specifically 8, where it talks about, what do I see flying in the cloud like doves to their windows? The coastlands shall wait, because the ships of Tarshish are first to bring your people back home. Flying ships of Tarshish. Tarshish being west, flying ships are airliners, okay, of a great eagle. And this literally gives you a kind of a figure of that, in a way so that Yochanan and others could understand, but they still didn't understand. What I mean is, they didn't understand because they did not see airline flight. Neither did Paul understand airline flight when he talked about those who are still alive will meet him in the air. Now, so what we're talking about is the 3.5 years, or times, and half a time, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place. Well, her place is the Holy Land, which has always been a wilderness during the time of the persecution, where she is fed. Now watch carefully. There, where she is fed. There. Do you see that word? Eki means there. By extension, to there, where she is nourished, to there. That's what it says. It does not say for a time. To there, over yonder in that place. There's your first notification of deception by King James Version. It does not say for a time. She is nourished there, to there. She is nourished from where she is being carried to there. And then it says, and also a season and a half. A season from the face of the serpent. A season and a half a season from the face of the serpent. So, now, what does that mean? I don't know yet. And most people don't know either, including the ones who claim it means times and a half a time, 3.5 years. So where did they get time times and a half a time, meaning 3.5 years? I will show you where they get it from. They get it from here. But it doesn't say time times and a half a time at all. It's talking about the two witnesses here, and the two witnesses are instrumental. And I will show you where they're instrumental, because you see what happens here is once he casts out of his mouth like water as a flood, that's the armies that come in to invade, to try to undo what the two witnesses did. The earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth, and he was defeated. So what did he do? He was wroth with the woman. He went make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Jehovah and have the testimony of not Jesus, but Yehoshua. All right? His name never changed to suit your likes or dislikes. You have to change. He does not change. Now, so we go back to here. The 3.5 years. It says, I will give power to my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy. Prophesy. 1,203 days clothed in sackcloth. Well, how much is 1,203 days clothed? How long is that? That is 48 months. That is 3.5 years. Okay? Why? Because the Gentiles tread underfoot the holy city back in 70 AD for 42 months. But was that war over in 42 months? No. The destruction of Jerusalem was over in 42 months, but the war was not finished until the Masada was destroyed. Then the war was finished. The war was 4 years. Now we go to Daniel 12. And we go to verse 5. And then I, Daniel, looked and beheld there were two. There stood two. One on that side of the river, and one on this side of the river. On the bank. And the one, no, it doesn't say one, it says, and said to the man clothed in linen. So I think Daniel may have spoken to the one clothed in linen, which was above the water. Right here it says above, not upon. You can see it right there, above the water of the river. The end of these wonders. Oh, when is the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen that was above the water. He hovered above the water of the river. And he held up his right hand and his left hand. Now, a lot of people think that that means that is a part of swearing. Not necessarily. To modern days, swearing is with your right hand only. So why was he holding up two hands? Watch this. And his left hand unto the sky, and swore by him to live for that as shall be. Does it say a time, times, and a half a time? Does it say that? No, it does not. It says, at an appointed time, place, or meeting. At an appointed time, place, or meeting. What does that mean? Well, if you are a Jew, you understand exactly what it means. Appointed feast. What is an appointed feast? Well, Peshach happens to be one of several appointed feasts for the Jews. All right? So, they're speaking about appointed feasts. Now, let's watch carefully. From appointed feast to appointed feast. It says the same thing. From appointed feast is the next one, appointed feast. And then it says, in English, a half, but does it mean a half? It can mean a half. It can mean two parts. It can mean halfway, or in the middle, or at midnight. At midnight, between the daylight hours. So it can mean in between. Now, but we are talking about feast days. So, what I wanted to point out to you is this. I have to keep this right here because this is extremely important. It's extremely important. When did the siege of Jerusalem occur? Let's see. All right, look at this. April 14th. That's just a few days before Passover. And that's when the soldiers rolled into Jerusalem. It took a few days to surround Jerusalem and get the siege ready. I mean, it didn't take a few days to surround Jerusalem, but for the siege to be set. There is your appointed time. And you can add Passover. And it will give you some more information concerning Passover. Right here it says only 3 days before Passover. Okay? That's when the Roman army marched on Jerusalem. So clearly it's talking about Passover being an appointed time. Now, the war itself, the Jerusalem was trodden down underfoot for 3.5 years. The war lasted 4 years. And it ended at, let's see, Masada. Siege of Masada ended when? Okay. All right, Passover. That's the best way I can do it. I should have had this pulled up, but okay, date. Well, I had a if I can find it, I will put it in the comments section. Oh, here we go. So April the 16th AD, the tower was breached. Okay, so when was 73? When was Passover 73 AD? Watch this. I think y'all get my drift by now. According to Roman Jewish historian Josephus, when the Romans were finally about to break into the fortress, the Jews committed suicide. They preferred to die as free people rather than being captured in slavery. This occurred, according to Josephus, on the first day of Passover. Now you know that I'm right concerning this. That I'm right how I read what is written in Daniel 12. And it says this. So from feast, it shall be from appointed time, appointed feast, to appointed feast, right here, in between. When he accomplishes to shatter, not scatter, to shatter the power of the holy people. It does not say all these things shall be finished. That's when that war comes to an end. Now, he says, I heard, but I understood not, and I said, Adon, or Adone, or Adon, what shall be the end, the after part of this? They wouldn't tell him. And they said, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And listen carefully, and the JWs really screwed this up, and a lot of people screwed this up. They try to make it difficult, and it is not difficult at all, and I'm going to show you what this means. From the time that the daily sacrifice is taken away, and the abomination that is desolation that is set up, shall be 1,290 days. That's 290 days. That is, was it 49 months? Blessed is he that waits and comes to the 1,335 days. But go your way to the end, for you shall rest. So at the very last part, they all gave him just a smidgen of information that knowledge will increase, and right here, and people shall run to and fro in the earth. But he did not answer the question. The only part that Daniel knew was that after 1,335 days. Now, I'm going to show you something. So Josephus wrote that 1.1 million people, the majority of them Jewish, were killed during the siege, a death toll he attributed to the celebration of Passover. As you can see, this thing occurred between two Passovers in 4 years. Josephus goes on to report that after the Romans killed the armed and elderly people, 97,000 were enslaved. Josephus records that many people were sold into slavery, and that the inhabitants of Jerusalem, 40,000 individuals survived, and those who survived being killed, and those who survived being taken into slavery. Guess what happened to them? And the emperor let them go wherever they chose. So those who were able to wait 1,335 days. Those who were able to survive it, survive the butchering, survive starvation, and survive being hauled off as slaves. Those who remained, or those who were left, and those who fled to the mountains many years before, when Caligula set up the abomination of desolation in the temple, which was summarily thrown out. That was the marker for them to run to the mountains in the south. And at that particular point in time, at the coming of the 1,335 days, that was it. They were free to go. wherever they wanted to go. That is, of course, until, 70-some years later, when Hadrian did it again. All right? So, there is the answer concerning time, times and a half a time, and how your preachers, your seminaries have deceived you in that matter. Things are not the way you think they are, the way you've been taught, because they have not used Strong's Concordance. And folks, this is why I strongly urge, and as far as I know, the only Bible app that has this is Bible Hub. Bible Hub doesn't pay me. Nobody pays me. Nobody pays me to do this. I just have my little old laptop and Wondershare and Bible Hub, this little old potato sack, and the shield that the Gentiles hate so much. But I just want to reiterate to you, the reason why you do not understand is because you are not using Strong's Concordance. For instance, like right here, the Gentiles do not know about the time of tribulation upon the Gentiles. They don't know about it because King James Version and all the other versions have covered it up. But Strong's Exhaustive Concordance has uncovered it, if you would just bother to look. And at that time, Mikael stands up, the great prince, which stands for the children, the sons of your people. And there shall be, it shall come to pass, eighth time of Sarah, adversary, distress. Distress upon who? It doesn't say such as never was since there was a nation. That's not what it says. It says distress upon the Goy. The Goy. The Gentiles. The Gentiles. And at that time your people shall be delivered. The ones that are in the book. And I did a video on that. How the Muslims call the Jews the people of the book. And they think that the people of the book must be destroyed. But in Daniel the prophet it says that the people of the book are going to be delivered. To slip away. Now, so, once again, do not be deceived by your seminary taught preachers who take money from you. They are taught to deceive. They are not taught to teach you. And I am telling you that the greater the education these people have, the more deceitful they are. All right? Use your Strong's Concordance. Study your Bible diligently, because there is not much time left.